After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 492. This was supposed to be the Valentine's Day episode, but we had stuff going on yesterday, so we're here a day late. It's actually Tuesday, February 15th, 2022, as we are recording. It is episode 492. My name is Marleisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy, and look, I fixed the camera.
We want to welcome all new and returning viewers to the Fun in the Woman Cave. If you're new, we're glad you found us. We hope you see something you like, and we hope you'll return. And if you are returning, we're always glad to have you back. If you are new or returning and in the shadows, please feel free to join us officially. You can just subscribe by hitting the little tapping the little subscribe button on your right and tapping the little bell so you get notifications.
Keep talking, I want to zoom in a little bit.
And if you want to be able to take part in the alongs or in the camaraderie and all the fun stuff that happens over in the PHN home group, and that's at phnpodcast.freeforums.net, and that's in the little description box below. Okay, so that's phnpodcast.freeforums.net, and it's in the description box below. You don't have to do that, okay? But if you like to, we'd love to have you there.
You like me? Move a little closer.
No, you don't want to?
You don't like me?
No. No, I do not. Anyway, so, yeah, that was the administration part of it. Let me see here. How many did you say you had?
I have 5.
I have 8. So, just because I worked on them during the podcast.
Well, I also was very focused on specific projects, and you will see.
Because my hair appointment did not come off last week because of contractors and it
was you not feeling well.
Yeah, not feeling well. So,
although you did have your hair appointment today.
So, but I didn't catch too much up. So let me turn it around. I get to look at my owl because I do this left-handed. This is from Chronically Crocheting. She gave this to me. It's a little owl crocheting. And in here is it's an Adagio tea. It's a chocolate chai puree tea. Adagio, which I really love. And I felt like I wanted something that actually tasted like chocolate. And chai, so this is it. And do you want to taste it or you?
No, I already know I don't like that tea because I don't like chai. And I have had it in other things.
Well,
I know the chai comes through strongly.
You like the Talia tea.
That doesn't have that, I don't think it has that chai. I'll try it on its own just to see, but I'm pretty sure it's the one that I don't care.
Okay, well, wait a second. Let me put it down. I'm not trying to force you to have it.
No, I know you're not. I do know that the Arena tea, the Healer tea is one that I don't mind.
Yeah. Well,
it smells like chai, though.
It does.
I mean, it's not bad, but it's definitely chai. I had messaged Joanna Johnson to see, because she just put out a Marianne Dashwood. She's a character from Sense and Sensibility, which I'm currently reading. She has a pattern called Marianne Dashwood, and she's doing a knit along for it. It's not quite my style of shawl, but I was excited because it was a character from the book I'm currently reading. We are going to discuss theories with Jane Austen. We're going to have our own little reading, nerdy, old-fashioned book discussion. I'm so excited. She's excited about sharing theories and talking that stuff.
Oh, cool.
Because I can't get you to read Jane Austen, so I had to look elsewhere.
Boring.
You can't say it's boring because you didn't give it a chance past Emma.
Emma is a pain in the behind.
Emma is the bad one to start with. Jane Austen herself always said that Emma was a heroine that only she could love.
I liked the movie.
Well, the movie was good. They did a good job portraying Emma because, honestly, Emma's a difficult character. She's very flawed, and She's difficult. I have trouble reading Emma sometimes, and I love Austen.
Anyway,
my tea.
Yeah, before we get all...
Sorry, I was excited because her message came across my watch. I was like, yay, I have someone finally to discuss this stuff with.
We don't discuss when we discuss. I listen.
I know, and I need to be able to, everyone wants to be able to discuss something that they like to read.
No, but I'm just saying I can't get a word in edgewise.
Well, also, it's hard for you to discuss if you haven't read it.
I'm not even talking about Jane Austen. I'm talking about in general. You get excited and I can't get a word in edgewise.
So this, just because I'm sure people want to actually hear about my tea, you're going to love this one. Birthday tea. It's, Mom gave me this mocha mat.
And I have it too.
Chocolate and cream and sprinkles. This is really good. It
and
tastes like chocolate.
The mocha mat is the one I'm waiting on getting my free sample.
This is in, the mocha mat's also in Zealot Grey Cells. Which is another tea I really enjoy.
Yum, 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 yum.
Isn't that good? Give it back. Put it down and give it back. You have your own chocolate tea. I want my tea back.
No, you don't.
Put it down.
No, you don't want to.
You
Drop
have
it.
your own.
Drop it. Drop it.
You don't get to keep my tea. What's wrong with you?
You can have the mug after you have the tea.
What's wrong with you?
I'm going to have to pick up more of that. That's good.
Isn't it good? You can see why I'm looking at my tin. I'm like, I only have a little left. What am I going to do?
Okay.
Trying to drink all my tea. What did you brought?
Anyway.
You have your own. Drink your own tea.
I want that one too. I want all the tea. All the chocolate teas are my teas.
But chocolate tea is hard to get right.
It is. I've noticed that.
I think it's the mocha in here that's helping bring out the chocolate a little bit. There's certain ingredients that seem to help bring out the chocolate. Hazelnut seems to.
And cream.
Mocha seems to. Cream does seem to. But I see a lot of hazelnut in chocolate teas and a lot of this mocha mat in chocolate teas. And I think it's something about those two flavor profiles that really seem to amp up the chocolate flavor. Don't know how that works.
Okay. Moving on. We did our teas.
This is excellent. And I can taste that mat undertone that I love so much.
I don't know what mat tastes like, so.
It's kind of got this toasty, nutty kind of taste to it. I mean, that makes sense because I believe that it's some sort of nut kind of thing. It's a South American. I had to look back at what it comes from because it's not a normal tea.
Okay, so moving into the tea and tails, we have 2 Cal-Laos running right now. And the first one is PHN Tea and Tails.
I want to work on my other project.
Cal-Lao 2022. And this is our year-long Cal, and so we're 2 months into it now. And this along runs from January 1st through December 31st, 2022. If it is January 1st, 2023, it's finished unless the thread is open and you can slide in there. But don't depend on that. Get your stuff in by midnight going into 2023 Eastern Standard Time.
Because you might be disappointed if you depend on
open
past time.
Okay. Projects must be knit, loom knit, or crocheted. Previous whips are allowed, but must be worked on during the along and must reflect the theme. Chatter and pictures are all on the same thread. Projects must be tied in some way, shape, or form to tea and or tails. If you want to know what that includes, it's in the thread. You can email me. You can tag somebody. Rena's a very good source of information. All of our moderators and quasi-moderators are really good at that. Children's books are acceptable if they have a beginning, middle, and end. 1 whip per project per week. The FO whenever it's completed. Prizes, we do have some prizes. I just don't have them pulled right now. Featured patterns. Always our featured patterns and yarns we have a core. Okay, so we have those. My yarns and pattern, Talia's patterns, Laura Concert's yarns and patterns. She's Lollipop Girl Yarns. And I think her designs are Laura Concert designs, but it's all in the same shop, Lollipop Girl. She's on Ravelry and Etsy, I think. The other featured patterns.
I'm just need my headphones from there.
The other featured patterns are Joanna Johnson's patterns, Bakery Bears patterns, and Mom Cook patterns that are related to tea and or tails. I think that's what we said.
Yes.
So those are all, if they're related to tea and or tails,
Very sure that's what we said.
it's
in the group.
It's in the group. They have 2 chances at a prize for finished object with one of the featured items, like a pattern or a yarn. But if you have a pattern and a yarn that's featured in the FO, that's eligible for three chances at a prize, and you are responsible for your multiple postings. And if that's confusing, I apologize. It's in the group. I'm finally starting to get warm. Let's see here. The hashtag is hashtag PHNT and Tails 2022 in Instagram. And the prizes for this along, because it's a year long, will be issued quarterly. So at the end of March, we will have a pulling for the first 2 prizes of this along. Okay? Because it's easier for me to do it that way than it is to have all these things go out at once. The first prize that we know about is a pattern from Looney Hiker that she donated. It's called the Graveyard Field Sock Pattern, and it's a really beautiful sock pattern. So that's a very generous donation. We're really excited to have that. Why are you writing on my napkin?
I have a question for you.
Okay. The other one is a PHN Ready Set Go Cal Cal Lal 2022, and that's where we start all the things. The things that are in this particular along can be started no earlier than January 1st, 2022. If it was started December 31st, it's not eligible, okay, of 2021. It's not eligible. So January 1st, 2022 on is allowable for this PHN Ready Set Go. There are no real parameters for this. There's no special colors, no special anything. It just has to be started January 1st or later. If you use a featured pattern or a featured yarn, in this case, it's just my pattern, my one pattern, my yarns, Talia's patterns, and Laura Concert's yarns and patterns. If we have certain alongs, just have that core, and that's what this one is. Let me see here. The rules are basically the same, okay? Oh, I forgot to mention on the other one, but this is for all of our alongs. If the project only takes 50 yards or less, please put it with another project of 50 yards or more to be considered for a prize, okay? The hashtag is PHN Ready Set Go 2022 on Instagram, and we do have prizes for that as well. We've gotten some donations from Christina that are I showed you a couple weeks in a row, I think, and we have some other donations, so we are very pleased to be able to give you those for prizes, and they're sitting in my prize bin, and I will pull things when I get the chance, okay? Let's see here.
Oh, I forgot one of my things.
Right. So that's all we have to say about that. I need to get a little bit of a drink.
And I need to slide past because I forgot one of my project bags. I actually have 6. I thought I had 5, but...
All right, so I go twice once.
Yeah, so let me go ahead and grab that bag because I forgot I worked on this. I didn't do a lot on it. That's why I forgot about it. But you have to go twice once, so that'll give me more than a chance to grab that.
Okay. Let me see, guys, if I can find what my first one... Okay, my first one, and I don't think I worked on this much except during the podcast. I kind of went in fits and starts this time because I did a lot of yarn dyeing, and we had contractors, and we had just kind of topsy-turvy. Mike was home more of the week than he usually is because he had to be home for the contractors. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Okay, this is my local yarn shop bag. This is the Knitter's Magic, and it's made by one of her indie people, like I do yarn. This lady does bags, and so this is my Welcome Little One project from the On the Porch blanket knitting pattern by 5410 Studios. And this, I have done some work on this. It's using bulky weight yarn, and let me see here. Here's the front of it. Hasn't changed a whole lot, but I did do a little bit of work on it. So you can see. I think my nephew and his wife are due to have a baby in April, I think it is.
Yeah, it's sometime in the spring. I can't remember when.
And the baby has some medical issues. They know they're going to have heart surgery. I'd kind of like to send this off to them in Canada. So I'm hoping I can finish this well before April. And if I sit down and do it, I should be able to. It's not that hard of a
Well, if
pattern.
you make it a focus.
Yeah, I think I don't. I can focus on something. If I can finally focus on something, I have to let my hands have to cooperate.
Right.
So I'm hoping that I can get this done for them. They won't know about it. They don't
Right.
watch the podcast.
Excuse me.
I don't even know if they know that I knit. But this is in Lady Furnicle Creations Bare Necessities. It is a bulky weight, 5410 Studios. If you want to see patterns that are, I can't remember if they're free or just affordable. I think I got some of them for free. I don't know if it was on sale type thing, like promotions or what.
Well, if it's just a couple, they're free patterns.
Well, I have almost, at one time I had almost all their patterns, all their blanket patterns, because they're absolutely beautiful and they're not hard. It's just that, me being me, it takes me a while and I never finish them. But this one has gone further. And the thing about this one is that I messed up on this one and I started it over. No, it was the K thing that I started over.
Yeah.
I thought I started this one too, but anyway,
No, I don't think you've started that one over.
this is a fun blanket. I like it. The other one,
This one's really good.
okay, this one I didn't do a whole lot of work on. This is in my Plover bag Peak and Purple Teacups bag, and this is my Comfy Cozy Shawl product from the Scrap Shawl pattern by Anastasia Patel. And I'm a little bit out of order here because I had to take things out of here to go with me to the hairdresser, so they're kind of out of order. But this one,
Oh, okay. I was like, what hit me?
so it's growing a little bit. I didn't do a whole lot of work. It's kind of stagnant right now, but I mean, it's big enough to use.
I was
a
like, this
shawl.
ginormous thing is stagnant. It actually goes with your outfit really well.
It does. I just have a sweatshirt on because I didn't want to get hair dye on my.
But I
sweatshirt.
mean, the color is very
Yes,
close.
yeah. It's very pretty, and I'm looking forward to having this because I gave Talia my other one,
The blue one.
the blue one.
Well, you
and
weren't wearing
I
it.
wasn't wearing it because it was didn't flow right for me. I'm kind of particular about the way I want my shawls to fall. And this is a lot of Miss Babs. I think there might be some Malabrigo in this. And it's just a very nice, meditative kind of crochet. I can just sit there, and if I make a mistake, like today I was doing, I was working on the other one, the virtual hugs, and I looked, I said, oh, that's not right. And I just fixed it. And, it wasn't hard. This is not a hard thing for me. I enjoy it, very much.
Well, it's always nice to have those projects where you just don't really need to focus. You can just do your thing.
Even if I do a short row.
You can't do short rows of crochet though, right?
Yeah, you can. Just turn around.
I guess you're right. I guess you're right. I guess I technically have probably done something similar to short rows in some of the toys. It just doesn't, in my head, it doesn't feel the same.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know if it's even called that, but it's what I think of it as when I think about it. You
Yeah.
look at it, you don't quite get what direction you're going. You go the other direction, you shorten the row, so it's a short row because you're going the other direction.
Yeah. But anyway, I guess it's my turn.
Yes, it is. I want more tea.
Excuse me. So the first one I just chose is actually the one I had to go up and get. So let me bring up my show notes because they closed. Because that's what they do. I haven't worked on this one in a while. Come here.
Here.
Let me actually put my other thing down because it's going to be very hot. Let me pull the needles out a little bit so I don't lose my stitch. Okay. So I love this bag.
It's a nice bag.
This was one, okay, so originally, I wish I could remember the name. It's on here.
Yeah, I know what it is.
Pod Blue.
Probably, yeah.
When I first saw this bag on her shop, she actually had one in this denim with Batgirl, Supergirl, and Wonder Woman. And I asked, hey, can you make one just with Batgirl? And so she did that for me. And this is Barbara's Batgirl. I wouldn't have any other Batgirl on here. And actually, it's a good one for her. But she also made me a Nightwing one, which
I love the Nightwing one.
it's a good bag. I have something in it. I can't remember what's holding right now. And it was a silhouette from Hush. Apparently, the lady's husband was delighted that I recognized exactly where the silhouette was from. So apparently, I had legitimized myself as a comic book person. But yeah, this bag is sturdy. And so it holds my mitered square blanket, not the Afghan that I started after this and finished before it. This is it's made to cover a queen size bed. And I am going to regret the fact that I did not weave in all ends as I went. Although I think when I started I did, and then I stopped for a little while and then I started again. So it's not quite as bad as the one I just finished. Oopsie.
It's funny.
Yes, let me take a drink of tea. Now, I'm nowhere near finished with this thing. It will be a very long time. I need to be more diligent about putting squares in this. Sorry, I'm trying to find where I was at, because this thing's huge.
It's usually on either of your sock.
I don't have the needle attached right now because I finished the square. So I had to find...
Didn't you put a locking stitch marker on the
I did, and that's what I'm looking for. But it's taking half a second.
It's taking more than half a second.
I know it's on here because I put it on here. As you can see, there it is. So I finished this square here because I needed to do that. And then I added this square. I'm going to try to remember. It's a stripy yarn. You can't really tell. It looks like I just added brown on just for giggles, but it's a striping yarn. And I'm going to try whenever I finish a project that's either sport, DK, or worsted, just to add the square in right away. Because these aren't big squares. This is only a 33 stitch. I think it's 33 stitch. Because it's 35 stitch? 16 and 17? Yeah, 35 stitch. I wonder if it should have actually been 33. That's 33.
Doesn't matter, as long as you're consistent.
Yeah, I can't remember what I had it on before. But I'll have to check I might have done it wrong this time. Regardless, I'll double check and see. If I did it wrong, the square will just be a little wonky when I attach it. I think it might have actually been supposed to be 33. So, yes, so that's this. Been a long time since I worked on it. I need to look at my notes for it. I do have this weird feeling it was supposed to be 33. But,
okay,
because that would have been 15, and I check.
for 33?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it was.
18, 15, 18.
No, whatever I have, it's one stitch more for the other side. So I had to go and look at my what my notes say. But yeah, you might be seeing this one more often when I finish a project and just throw a square in there. But that's it about that. Okay. Just going to grab my projects.
Get my stitch marker here.
This one is...
Okay. Put this one away.
I think this one's all Kay's fault, is what I called this way back when.
Yeah, I think it is.
Because Kay actually thought that was really funny.
I have to catch up with them. I'm so far behind on all knitting podcasts. I can't remember the last time I watched a knitting podcast. I'm looking forward to Laura's coming out. Okay. My next one is...
this is Kay's fault. There we go.
Alright. In my Knits for Brains Owl Teapots bag given me by Laura Concert is my Arwen's Hooded Cowl from the Thorin's Hooded Cowl pattern. Let's see here. And this is in Miss Bab's Yowza, which is now listed as a DK. And it's in the slate colorway. Blue slate colorway.
It was supposed to be 31 stitches.
15 to 16, yeah.
So, yeah, this one's a little bit bigger than it should be. It'll all block out. No one will notice once I... Yeah, add the other one. I thought I was wrong. Oops,
so,
it's funny.
This is what I have. It is growing slowly, but it is growing. You can see pattern. And I'm still on the knit row. You know, I haven't had to change yet. Soon, I think. Or maybe not so soon. Let's see. Oops.
Well, I think it always looks like it's sooner because you're just looking at these, but it's actually like 8 rows or 5 rows. So it always gives the impression.
And I'm only 14 out of like 21 rows for this, so I'm just knitting. Okay, that's all I have to say about that.
Let me just shove this in here. So I laugh at my poor memory. The thing is, I had 2 things going at once, and I couldn't remember which square.
Well, that's one of the reasons I stopped working on. At one time, I was working on the jelly roll and not the burrow wrap.
It was the burrow wrap.
The burrow wrap. And I said, you know what? They have different edgings, and it's the only thing that's different. And was confusing me.
This is your tissue.
Because that's why I started over the jelly roll, because I messed up and it squeezed in because I was doing the different edging.
Right, now I think I can save that without restarting the square. I think I can. I'll see if I mind that much. If it bothers me too much, I'll restart. It's not like I need more yarn for it.
Less yarn, yeah.
It'll be less yarn, so it's not like it's the worst thing in the world.
Right.
If I had done fewer stitches than I needed, it would have been worse. Right. Okay, so I'm working my way to the end of the round because this should be the next one I show. So, in my Silver Shed USA Kitties in the News bag is the Anne sweater by Joanna Johnson. I call this project Lake of Shining Waters. I am using Knit Picks it's Baby Alpaca.
I know what it is. It's right off the top of my head.
I know, it's like gone. There, I finished my stitches and I can take a look at the yarn itself.
Andy and Treasure.
Yes, Andy and Treasure, and it's the Sapphire Heather colorway. I always forget Andy and Treasure for some reason, but yours is actually called like Andy and Heather or something, the green, I want to say. But, yeah, so let me just pick a random news story. Let's see. Okay. Cat fight over new eatery by Cool Cornish Rex. Famous chowsters TV Tabby and Sal Siberian battle over Pet Town's new hotspot, Kentucky Fried Pet Stop. Let's stick to homemade classics. I can't miss Animal Planet to go out to Pet Stop, screeches TV. I'm sick of the same old snack. This is a whiff of fresh air, growls Sal. I like to get out. So far, both critics' choices have been catastrophic.
Catastrophe.
I say let's stop hounding the eateries and chow down. I hear this place is the cat's pajamas.
Not the cat's meow?
So, one picture is going to show TV Tabby hugging a remote. And the other one shows Sal Siberian with like a scowl on his kitty face, holding a fork.
He's got a lobster bib.
And a lobster bib, yeah. So, hold on. There. This is TV. This is Siberian. And you probably can't see their expressions, but TV is hugging a remote, looking very much like someone who does not want to go out to Pet Stop. So. I mean, slow progress. I mostly work on this on the podcast. The weird thing is it would actually get done and I could have it if I worked on it more. But there have been priorities for socks because I actually need those, whereas I have sweaters to wear. So yeah, I look forward to having this. This is a nice, like, medium weight sweater. Mm-hmm. So this really isn't necessarily the time of year for this sweater.
If you're inside and...
Yeah. But this is one that'd be very nice, like Mom said, inside or for the warmer months. Although it's actually surprisingly warm for something this lightweight. Yeah. But yeah, I look forward to having this, and I know Mom's looking forward to me casting on hers. Even though when I cast on hers, I have a couple other sweaters that have been patiently waiting their turn.
One of which is my owl sweater.
One of which is your owl sweater. I have the cabled sweater.
Davina's sweater, Daddy's sweater.
I have a couple of them that are in the same state, so I need to finish those 3 first because all of them are very close to being done. Because for a while, I had like 4 sweaters that were basically at the same spot. And then I chose to focus on one, which is probably the best because then, I don't know, they actually get done. So I then have to choose the next one that gets focused on. But yeah, and then once those are done, I can start thinking about your owl sweater, your although it'll be farther down line, your Anne sweater. I have the one that I'm doing in the Miss Babs that looks like flames. That sweater. And then I have others that are in the wings. I even have a pullover, like a loose pull, sloppy pullover. That doesn't have like a tight neck or anything. It's just, it's something you just wear over like a little undershirt and you just sort of lounge around the house in it. That kind of thing. So, sorry, my yarn's all tangled. But yeah, that's it for this project.
Okay, then we put this one away.
Gotta watch alpaca because it tends to like to stick to itself a little bit.
Alright, so I already showed this one, so I'll put this one away. Sure.
Oh, I see. I think this might be a tail. Yeah, there we go. Stay in there where you belong.
My next one is in my Silver Shed USA green Star Wars bag, and this is my Mad Hatter cowl. And I'm using Miss Babs Yowza in the Mad Hatter colorway.
Yarn down.
And in case you aren't familiar with us here, you're new to the podcast, DK is probably my favorite weight of
Mine
yarn
too.
to work with.
It's where we tend to gravitate towards. Although this one's sport.
Yeah. I use occasional sport.
But that's what the pattern called for, was the smart with sport, and that's what I got gauge with.
So I haven't done a whole lot. This is the Mad Hatter. The pattern is actually the Cerebelle scarf pattern, which is something I do a lot of in terms of pattern.
And she uses in all sorts of projects. It's not available anymore online. But it's a free pattern, so Mom, or was a free pattern when it was still available, so Mom doesn't feel bad handing it out to people who ask because it was free.
Yep. I am an unofficial
Distributor.
of a free pattern. So yeah, it's very nice pattern. I've used it in shawls, I've used it in cowls, I've used it in scarves, I've used it in blankets. If I could figure it out, I wouldn't mind using it in something, like a shawl. But I'm still trying to figure out how to do that without it bunching.
Right.
So yeah, that's the Miss Babs. This is a very forgiving pattern for very highly variegated yarns. It just takes them really well, splits it up nicely, and makes it look really pretty. To me, this looks almost like a stained glass effect. I call it Mad Hatter because it's the name of the colorway, but it's kind of quasi stained glassy. Or fall.
Fall's what I would
leaves.
think. Autumnal.
But it's a little bright for autumnal leaves. You don't have many pink leaves, but yeah.
I mean, what makes you think of the fire trees we have?
Yeah, but still, there's no pink in them. I mean, you could maybe go to the sunset for some of the pink.
That's true.
Yeah, so that's all I have to say about that.
All right,
I'm sorry if I'm not really interested. I'm really tired, guys. I'm not sure why, but I am. So
let's poke her a few times. Okay, so next is in my Kickaboo bags, teacups on the unfortunate green background. So this is the Bavarian Diamond Sock pattern by Judy Sumner. She has beautiful sport weight sock patterns. And these are the Peridot socks.
This gets better as it sits even.
Yay.
I love this.
I just grabbed one of my blockers because I actually remember to bring it with me.
I'm going to have to get a 3 ounce of this.
It's really awesome. Well, that's yours. This one's really awesome that I have over here. Yours I don't necessarily care for, but that's because it's chai. So, first sock has been done for a while.
Very nice.
So there's that, and then the second sock.
think Davina's working out.
I don't know. I can't tell. I have my earplugs in. So, and these aren't earplugs that block all noise. They're just meant to tamp down the sound a little bit for me so I don't get overstimulated. This is my second sock because, you know, when you're this far along, this is the one you focus on. And this is in Mom's sport weight, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And the colorway is Master of the Hunt. Come back here.
We had fun finding the names for those.
And I told Mom what I'm probably going to be doing, because I have a fair amount of this, is I will be making all this lady's patterns in this colorway until I run out of the colorway. So it's like, I'll pull out this colorway and be like, oh, this is Judy Sumner's sock. So it just amuses me. She has one that's lacy that I think is gorgeous, and I can't wait to make it.
That sounds pretty.
It is stunning. She has absolutely beautiful patterns. It was really hard for me to choose this one over the other one. I had a hard time deciding. But this is the one that made me fall in love with her patterns to begin with, which is why I started with this one.
We just finished a stitch.
So let me go ahead and put this in here. And the nice thing about Mom's sport weight is it's got the nylon, but it's soft. It's not rough on your skin or anything.
Right.
Although I have found that even the wools that might be initially a bit scratchy, if you wash them a few times, they come out very well. Because you would think that a West Yorkshire Spinners is a bit rustic, but after a couple washings, it's really nice to wear. It's got that nice warmth to it while not being too hot and still being a fingering weight yarn.
Fingering?
Yeah, West Yorkshire is fingering.
All of it?
All the ones that I have are fingering. I mean, I'm sure they have other weights, but not the ones I use for sock.
Okay.
I mean, I've got an owl in the heavier weight because that was what I designed my owl from. That's the whole reason why they gave me the free fingering, because they accidentally sent me fingering instead of the Aran weight I ordered. And then they sent me the Aran for free because they knew that wasn't what I ordered.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I have 2 skeins of owl fingering weight. And I'm going to be eventually knitting you, once I get enough socks in my backlog, there's an owl sock pattern that has like little owls on it. And I want to knit it from the owl yarn. Now, granted, it might be too busy. I might have to change the yarn out. But that's kind of what I want to do.
See what you can actually do.
If not, I could always make another pair of owl socks in a different pattern.
Let's see what we got here. All right. Let me put this aside.
Stay there.
Put this in here. There. Okay, the next one, I'm stuck. Okay, that's, all right, the next one is in my, I'll move. It's my Country Roads blanket from the Jelly Roll pattern by K.F. Jones. And this is a scrappy, where's my bag?
Scrappy Dappy Doo.
Oh, there it is. Okay. It's hiding. So this is my Brittany bag. Country bag. Pretty. And I did a little work on this when we're watching a movie. Let's see here. I have all these ends, but I don't want to weave ends in yet. I want to wait till I add on the
Right. The only
square.
thing I tend to weave as I go along is the mitered square blanket. But because everything else I don't like weaving as I go along, which is why I have like 20 million ends to weave in for this sweater.
But this one, the squares are going to be, you're going to see some longer and you're going to see some shorter because Ty has given me some of her leftovers, some socks, and it comes after she's done her miter square, so it might be shorter. It might only be about this big, and then I'll go on to another color. But so I think that'll make an interesting effect, kind of like the real crazy quilts that actually had larger squares and smaller squares. And
Now, the only one you might not get something from is Master of the Hunt, because I can use that in heels and toes. So,
I can always make Masters of the Hunt.
I don't tend to want to give away those quite as much.
Let me see here.
Because it's hard to find heels and toes in the weight I need.
And this is a fun pattern because it's essentially you just knit. I mean, it is not a free pattern, so I don't want to go much into it, but it's a garter stitch pattern. That's all I can tell you. And she has a lot of very good directions with it.
Yeah.
So you can figure out, and I think she has a tutorial video to how to pick up the stitches, which is what I'm going to have to look at and make sure I'm reading properly what it is she wants me to do when I get to the point that I'm adding on the second.
Right.
You know, because I think you knit it on as you go. I think you pick up a stitch every time you go across.
Yeah, I think that's what you were saying.
And so we'll see if that's understood correctly. But yeah, this is fun. It's a lot of different yarns. There's Mad Tosh. There's no Mad Touch, I don't think. Malabrigo and Miss Babs and a whole bunch of other yarns. I don't even really know offhand what they are.
Well, what I think is fun about the scrappy things is things that you wouldn't normally put together just seem to magically suddenly work together in a scrappy project. It's as, like I said, it's like it's magic. These things should never have been in the same project, but it works.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Because scrap magic.
Yeah, Scrappy's very forgiving. Like, I was going to put another solid after this, but I think I'm going to maybe I'll put a variegated or a stripe or something after this.
Right, I mean, because you can.
Yeah.
Because it's scrappy. Sorry, I'm just fixing, I purled when I should have knit, so I'm fixing it the row above. Because I got excited talking about something, and so I purled instead. Well, because what happens is this is kind of a broken rib, so every other row you knit instead of purl. Every once in a while I just do a normal rib by accident, then I have to go back and fix it.
Right.
There we go. But
I have to figure out how long I want this, the blanket to be. It's actually probably an afghan, not a blanket, but...
Well, it all depends on if you're doing it lengthwise, right? So, yeah, you have a while to go before you even think about that.
Well, it's not to my knees yet, so I've got a ways.
Yeah, I mean, just eyeballing that, like, quickly, I could tell that.
Because I think it would look weird crossways. I mean, I guess you could do it, but it just seems weird.
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of seem weird.
Your turn.
Okay, so next on mine, finishing these purl stitches, so that way I'm sure it'll stay on. Okay. Next for me, the Vanilla Latte Socks by Virginia Rose Jeans. This was initially called the Peacock Socks because I thought I was using the Peacock colorway from West Yorkshire Spinners. Actually, it's the Kingfisher Socks because I'm using the Kingfisher one. So that's not that bad. It's this bag. So this is in my Silver Shed USA books bag. And let me put this on a blocker.
You have one?
Yeah, I have one right here. Because remember I used it for the peridot.
I just remember if you took it off the blocker or not.
Oh yeah, I did. I mean, I have another blocker there if I needed it. But I don't always remember to bring the blocker with me.
Right.
But I'm now keeping up here because when I have the Adagio, when I actually have the Adagio community box and I'm taking pictures, I like to be able to have my blockers there. So I have the blocker for my mitts and the blocker for my size of socks up here. So I always have access to it.
It looks pretty.
So there we go. As you can see, I'm in the gusset decreases.
Very pretty.
And this blue, I don't have the blue with me. Oh yes, I do.
It's a nice blue. Almost looks like this.
Juniper.
Almost looks like that. Not quite.
It's darker than that.
Yeah, it is, but it says almost, not the same.
So, and the blue heel is Juniper. So yeah, very happy with it. Both these yarns were a gift from a unknown person who sent me a birthday gift in West Yorkshire Spinners.
Very generous.
Yes, they wanted to remain anonymous, so not even I know who they are. they told the company to keep them anonymous. So they did. So yes, very much enjoying this. The only reason why it hasn't gotten as much work as I want to is because I've been focused on certain other projects. But it will be worked on again. So yeah, now it's your turn while I untangle myself a little bit.
Let's see if this has caffeine, because I need caffeine.
I'm sure it does. Because Pu'ers have caffeine.
I lost my thing, but it doesn't say if it's got caffeine.
Pu'ers have caffeine.
I need more than I have.
Yeah, Pu'er should have caffeine. That's what I seem to remember from my tea book.
Okay, well, my next one is in my Emma Owl bag. My Emma Owl bag.
It might not be as high caffeine as my Mott, because Motts are the ones that give warnings about, like, don't have this if you want to sleep.
Right.
I have no problem with it. I'll drink my Mott and go right to bed.
Okay, this is my Ice Baby blanket from the Cerebelle scarf pattern by Sarah Sweethearts, and this is the second skein. This is the third one, so you can see I'm pretty well into the second skein.
Yes.
And I think this will be plenty big for the baby blanket. I think.
Excuse me.
It's moving along. I was having a nice conversation with the lady at the hairdresser about this blanket.
I guess if you finish this one first, it could go to cousin and.
No.
You really want the white
I
one?
kind of want to give him the white one because it's not just. I don't know. I'm just worried about the baby. So
yeah, you want something that seems
yeah,
heirloomy.
Yeah. So hopefully I'll finish that one on time. But yeah, this is the Cerebelle scarf pattern. The pattern is the yarn is ice yarn, and I don't know. I think I thought the color was aqua something or other, but
I think you're right.
It doesn't say on the band. So yeah, it's growing. It is growing. I worked on this at the hairdresser today. So yeah, it's not a whole lot to say about this. You guys have seen this ad nauseum the last few weeks because I work on it all the time.
Okay, so for me, next, it's over here. This is Vanilla Cream by K.F. Jones. The project name is Rainbow Socks. So, again, I'm going to need a blocker.
You have enough to put on the blocker?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not, I have a little bit to go, a little bit more than that, but I will, not too long before the toe if I was to focus on this. Most of the socks I have with me are able to be put on the blocker. So,
very nice.
Yes.
Pretty pair of socks.
This purple was dyed by Mom. The stripy yarn, I'm not sure who dyed it because I don't have a ball band. And then I have, just trying to find the other yarn that's going to be in toes. So that's my thing here. Sorry, I have a lot of things. There it is. This bag is full of like little things. So this green, also dyed by Mom, is going to be the toes. And then when I get to the other sock, the heel will be in this color and the toe will be in the purple.
Cool.
So, yeah. It's kind of like a dark bright in sections. Although other sections are like, you have like this lime green. They're very small mini stripes. So
Micro minis.
Yes, they're micro mini stripes. But I think it's working out fun. It doesn't always take a good picture because the purple takes over. Even without this heel, the purple takes over, and it doesn't end up being quite as bright as I think it actually is.
Purple doesn't photograph really well. Purple and blue and stuff like that's hard to get true.
Because it almost can look like the colors combine almost sometimes in the picture because the stripes are so small, and you almost get like this purpley browny look, which is not a fair representation of this yarn. So yeah, I look forward to adding the green in here and then seeing how it'll look different when I have a green heel.
Right.
Because I'm sure that the green heel helped, but I do feel like there is maybe proportionally more purple to this. It's hard to tell because I have the purple heel in, but it just seems to be the dominating color. Okay, so yeah, there be that.
Okay, let me see here.
I think I did a 7-inch leg. That's usually my preferred leg, and with fingering weight, I can generally do that. I've heard do your foot length for the leg, but my foot is particularly long. I have a 9.5-inch to 10-inch foot. Those are
knee socks.
That's the kind of shoe I wear. So, yeah, I'm not gonna do a 9.5 to 10-inch leg. I won't. I might not have enough yarn.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Kay's able to do Dan socks.
I don't think she does them that high, though.
Yeah. No, you're right. I don't think he likes high socks. But his feet are quite a bit longer than mine, and they're probably wider than... Well, they're going to be wider than mine. Otherwise, he'd have really skinny feet. And I'd be worried about the stability. So, maybe it evens out if you have a wider and longer foot versus someone who does a higher leg and a less long foot. I don't know. I feel like it would even out. Okay, your turn.
I understood absolutely none of what you said.
It made sense.
I can't be bothered.
Can't even.
Can't even.
Look, I'm going to be nice and let you have a sip. This has mod in it. Don't drink all my tea.
I've been having a rough time staying awake.
You see how much your daughter loves you?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right.
Maybe I'll let you steep my leaves.
Well, I think I have some.
You do have some.
Yeah. I might actually pick some of that up.
I really like this.
Okay. My next one is in my... Let's see. Oh, I can't... Can I show... No, I can't show... Oh, the Virtual Hugs.
Yeah,
this is my Virtual Hugs shawl from the Scrap Shawl pattern by Anastasia Sattel, and it's in my Universal Studios blue bag.
While she's pulling that out, I forgot to show the necklace I'm wearing. I'm trying to wear Davina's necklaces again. And the good thing about hers is because she has magnetic clasp. This is a good magnet, too. I think this is one of the ones I got.
She changed out her magnets.
Well, I found her some that I get from my bead resources. And I had to really research magnets for her. But, yeah. I really like this is I don't have anything to match my clothes.
Right.
Because it's multicolored, it changes color based on how the light hits it.
Oh, that's fun, yeah.
So it goes with all outfits. And for whatever reason, she chooses the best beads for her flash necklaces. So, like, the ones I want to wear all the time have flash on them. So, because I really love the beads for this one.
Yeah, my favorite one that she made for me, my husband broke. Well,
that's right. He broke your owl.
My owl. It was on white beads, and it's been memorialized in the painting. That's why he had it. And I don't think he did anything. I think it just.
Well, she was having trouble with the
at that point
wire she was using. She's changed out her wire,
and so
she had to replace several necklaces.
She can't make that one again because she can't get the new wire through that bead. So
that's always a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other one I really like is I don't remember, I got in some package a St. Michael, it was like, it's supposed to be on a chain, so it was like a metal actually it came on a chain, I think. And I said, hey, I want this on a necklace, I want blue beads, because I didn't have anything blue that was classy. I think all my blue necklaces had Batman on it. I was like, I want something for church. Can you make St. Michael into a necklace? It's actually one of my favorites. It's really classy.
Yeah. She's good at what she does.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is my Virtual Hugs, and I'm still on the purple, but I'm making progress on it. You can see that it looks like a very large Barbie shawl.
Yes, it does.
And I don't know what color. I may just go in and yank something out. We'll see. I have to.
You mean you'll actually go real scrappy?
Maybe.
We had a conversation about this on the live stream because Mom, even in a scrappy, I think Kay does this too, where you'll sit there and you'll plan it out. I'm just like, this looks good.
Yeah,
or I have enough yarn for this.
Well, it's something different from between a blanket and something you're gonna wear. I want it to at least be passably able to be worn and not just like, ew. But anyway, yeah, this
like any of Stephen West's patterns.
His early stuff was really
well. Also, I think it depends on the colors you choose. If you go really wild with some of the choices he makes in his pictures, I think it's going to be a little bit more.
It's very flamboyant.
Garish.
It's very flamboyant. But
he has if you choose different colors, I think some of his patterns work really well.
Well, I think he did Age of Brass and Steam.
He did.
Which I absolutely love. I haven't made it yet. I was going to start
He
it.
has a couple that when you see it in a different color combination, you're like, oh, that's really nice. I think it's just that you have trouble picturing it.
Well,
because he chooses such
our aesthetic is really different.
Very different. And he's very geometric.
He's very geometric, and he's a little bit
loud,
flamboyant, and that's not my style.
Yeah.
And not to say that he's not talented.
And it's just sometimes really hard to picture what it would be in a different.
Yeah, I don't want to give the impression that I don't think he's talented.
No, I think he's talented. I think that it's the style is so different, and his color choices. Sometimes it can be hard to look past the color choices he has to really look at the pattern.
Right, and for me, it's just too loud, and I say, oh, it's too loud, I'll never wear it, and I don't even look at it. So,
yeah.
But I love his Age of Brass and Steam. I just haven't made it yet because
I'm pretty sure you have it.
I do have it. I have it. I had it from my craftsy class, and then I bought it because the one that you buy has more information or more options or something to it.
Okay.
So, but yeah, this is not the brass and steam. This is the scrap shawl pattern by Anastasia Zattel, and yeah. So it's growing.
That's all you have to say about that?
That's all I have to say about this one because I have 3 of these on the hooks.
Okay, so next is this one is new. So I won this one. This is sunflowers that I won from
Spicy Mama.
What was her actual name?
Spicy Homemaker. She changed it though.
Yeah, I don't know what it is now. And this is Debbie Reese Designs. I won this. It's got the sunflowers, flowers on top with the yellow polka dots on the bottom on one side, and then this side has yellow polka dots on top and the flowers on the bottom. Very springy.
Makes me think of Art Deco.
And the sock I have in here actually really does match this kind of like bright feeling to it. So the pattern is Not Just Boring Boot Socks by Corinne Walcher. Anyway, this was actually a pattern I knit a lot for a while. The socks I'm wearing right now are in that pattern. It's a good pattern for if you want the yarn to do the work for you, and you just want something that has a little bit of interest so you don't get too bored knitting, but not so much it takes away from the pattern. Not to mention it also has, because for a while I was only knitting socks that had ribbing on them, because I wanted to make sure they stayed up. So, Not Just Boring Boot Socks by Corinne Walcher. I'm using Lady Fernico Creations Sport. That's her 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. In the colorway, It's Okay to Be Different. And I'll have to take a picture of it later to give to Mom to put in her shop so people can see how it works up. So it's actually working up quite fun. It's a very neon. Sorry, I'm trying
That's my neon version of the colorway. It's not the primary colors, it's the neons.
So which one is the way that you dye it now?
I do both.
You do both? Okay.
I generally like to do this one more, but I do both. I have adjusted this one to a little, because this one I started out with, this is the original. No, that's
something else.
This is something else.
I think. That's Foot in the Woman Cave, isn't it?
This is Foot in the Woman Cave.
Yeah.
I guess that is what I did originally.
So
I just changed the way I dyed it up.
It's quite bright and fun. I'm not sure if it's being shown to its true advantage. So it does this kind of like stripy spiral thing.
It's like stair steps.
Yeah, so you have it spiraling around. One spiral is bright pink and bright green. The other spiral is blue and yellow. And these are mini stripes within the spiral. And then you hit the heel and it's just stripes across. I actually really love this heel. And then it continues this kind of stripe across as you do your gusset decreases, and then it starts to spiral again into the foot. This is only over a couple days because this is a quick knit, especially when that's what you're focusing on.
It's fun.
I've been needing to pick up the pace for getting socks out, which is why I'm focusing on my sport weight ones right now, because some of my older socks, even the ones that are good yarn that have been tried and true, I mean, they're old. They're several years old. These are the socks that I'm wearing down are ones that I put in the dryer at one point. So they've been through a lot of abuse. So even if they're good quality socks.
I just got a picture in my head, a little dilapidated building with the sign kind of tilted that says
home for abused, neglected socks.
I have, like, okay, so the bag, I think it's my old Ravelry bag that I used for this. I have in there all my, like, darning things. And then I have stuck in the bag, like, all the socks that need to be darned that I'm just pretending don't exist right now as I'm knitting other socks.
They don't like you very much.
I was like, I could knit other socks and get my collection built up, or I could darn the ones I have and keep putting holes in them. So knitting other socks is winning right now. And then once I have enough where I feel like they're not going to pop holes, then I can start looking at darning the other ones. Mm-hmm. But it seems to be like there's not a lot to win right now in darning the other ones that popped holes 20 million times. Particularly the Mad Tosh socks, which aren't very old.
They don't have any nylon.
They don't have any nylon, and
they're not high twist.
They're not high twist, and they'd figure out a way to get holes like somewhat. Okay, you didn't darn me here, then I'll get a hole there, and it's just like they're really obnoxious. But I've learned lessons about what yarn not to use, and eventually I might have to just go darn it for a couple of them because there's only so many times you can darn the same socks before you're just kind of done. But if that's the case, particularly if it's the dance all night, I might cut it to a certain point and save the yarn.
Right.
Because there's nothing wrong with the leg portion.
Right.
No sense in wasting all that.
You could use that for heels and toes or whatever.
Well, no, I wouldn't use it for heels and toes because I would use it in a blanket. But that's the yarn that it keeps popping holes.
All right. Mm-hmm.
But I can save the legs, the yarns for the legs for some of these other socks and just throw away what's been worn down by being on my foot. That's a lot less yarn waste. That can go in blankets, parts of toys, whatever. And that's probably what I'm going to do because a lot of these socks have popped holes multiple times. Now, if it's the first time the sock has popped a hole, I'll give it more of a chance. But I think Mad Tosh might be given an honorable funeral and the foot might go bye-bye. Because I'm tired of darning it. Your turn. Oh, wait, yeah, I just show it. So your turn.
All right, let me just finish this stitch here.
But yeah, this makes me very happy.
It's supposed to.
Now, I intended to do Little Bunny Foo-Foo, but I grabbed this one by accident. So Little Bunny Foo-Foo, if I grab correctly next time, will be next. Then I have an orange and red one that you dyed. I don't remember the name of it. It's up there.
You have to walk it in the sun.
Yeah, and then I have one of another one of Heidi's yarns, which is looks like a similar base. And then I have another one of these, which is my Harry Potter Christmas socks. And I have another skein of that, so I'll probably knit that up again too. I don't mind having two pairs in the same, particularly since these are older, so I can foresee them popping a hole at some point. Not because the yarn's bad, it's held up super well, especially since I'm pretty sure I've done the whole, like, oh, I need to get something outside, we're not with just my socks thing. Yeah. So these have been abused. They've been through the dryer, they've been walked in stones, just like run out and get trash or whatever. They've been in shoes, they've been through the ringer. So if these pop holes, these get to be darned. You know, they deserve it. They've put in the work.
Okay. All right.
Have I waffled enough for you?
Well, I didn't realize that what you were doing, but yes, you did. Okay. Let me just put this away. I don't have any more projects.
Okay, well...
Oh, yes, I do.
It's one you can't show?
I can't show it. I'll just show you the bag.
Yay!
Cloverbird, teacups bag, test knit in there.
Okay, so that leads us on to FO, so I will go first. Let me get my blockers. Because I started and finished a pair of socks. That's why I haven't hardly worked on anything else, because I'm really determined to get those socks done so I can, you know, determine which socks get to be...
Did I miss one?
What do you mean?
No, I didn't. Okay.
Okay. Let's put these on the blockers. I had actually picked up this yarn for one of Mom's pair of socks, and she does have this pair of socks. I think I probably did the same pattern because this was generally my favorite pattern for socks for a while. Okay, so I'm actually next time going to do different toe. I've written down the instructions for
blue or
no. I mean a different toe pattern.
Oh, okay.
Kay has a toe pattern she does. It's very similar to this one in my sock book. It's a can't remember what it's called, but basically
Umbrella? No.
no. She might call it umbrella, but you have your decreases all around the sock instead of just on the sides.
Oh, okay.
It's just a slightly different way of forming. A little less pointed, a little more rounded. But so I've written notes that I'm going to do that for this sock next time. Because I already made notes on how I was going to do the gusset decreases different. So this is, I'm calling it my Kitty Pride socks because yours were called Shadow Cat. Because I can't see this without thinking that. And this is an undead yarn. By the way, I'm pretty sure it's her sport weight, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. But I lost the ball band a long time ago. I just know that the socks that I have, that I call my Nightcrawler ones, which were basically companion socks to this, except that you had pink, where like a pinky reddy color, where this light brown is. And those socks have held up amazingly well. So I know that these will too, because it's the same yarn, just a different color. So yeah, these knit up very fast. I'm actually almost matched the stripes. Very close to matching my stripes without doing it on purpose, which is always exciting when that happens. But yeah, I look forward to putting this in circulation. Took only a few days to knit these up. That's what I plan for the ones I'm knitting now. And yeah, I hope to finish the other ones next time and have another pair to show you as well. Like I said, I'm really focusing on getting a lot of sport weight socks done so that I can get rid of ones that aren't serving their purpose well. It's not the yarn's fault for like the Mad Tosh. It should have never been in a pair of socks.
Right.
But lessons learned.
Okay. Is that it?
That's it. That leads us on to...
I have an FO.
Oh, that's right. You do have an FO. I apologize.
Okay. In my blue bag with the PHN original logo, the Faces bag, is my... And you probably already know what this is because you didn't see it. Is my by special request shawl project from the Anastasia Sattel scrap shawl pattern.
You
So,
drop it.
I was going to surprise Ty with this, but she had a bad day yesterday, so I
Yeah.
let her wear it yesterday. But as you can see, this is ginormous.
Yes, it is, and it's happy. And I purposely wore colors that could go with it. Instead of like red. Thank you. And this is just a nice size. What happens is my orangey red one, thank you, lives on my bed. Oh, I should add this to my blanket. Thank you.
I should add to mine too.
Did you want it? You can add to your blanket first because you actually knit with it.
I would like to add this to my blanket.
Okay, you can totally have that.
I don't know if I have enough.
Well, it's scrap. You have as much as you want is enough. Yeah, you can have all those.
Well, I don't need this one, but
Is your-
because the same as that.
No, it's not. This is the
Oh, that's
zing.
mine. Yeah. This is the zing. Oh,
That's
wait.
the zing. It's slightly different. Look.
Okay, this one's mine. Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah. So this will probably do the same thing that my orange one does. I don't have many shawls that live on my bed, but my orange one is constantly out. This will probably be there too, and then I can just choose the color I want. Or if I'm really cold, I can wear both of them, or have one on my lap, because these just never get put away. The other one that's made from acrylic does get put away. It just doesn't have the same
Feel to it.
as the ones that are made from actual wool. So this will, like I said, this will join the orange one on my bed at all times. But then I can actually be color coordinated and look like I planned my outfits instead of like wearing orange.
It turned out really well.
Yes, it did.
I'm glad we were talking. I was finishing this up on the Zoom. And
No, it was alive.
was it live?
It was.
And I was at the Mad Tosh, which is this green, and I said, I don't know if I like it. It doesn't look finished. So I had a consensus that, well, Brittany told me. And she was absolutely right. I was leaning that way anyway to put the blue on.
Well, you were concerned because I didn't actually have zing. I had some of your yarn left over from Davina's, I think it's from Davina's Christmas stocking. And you were like, don't know if that'll work. It's a slightly different blue. And we all basically were like, it's scrap. It matches the theme. Put it in.
So in it went.
Yes. And I think it works.
Yeah, it looks nice.
So, and that means you have some yarn in this shawl.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to put this here.
So
that's
thank
all
you
I
very
have.
much.
You're welcome. That's all I have about that. Okay, what's next?
So that leads us on to shop news.
Okay, one of the reasons I didn't do a whole lot of stuff on projects, I did a lot of yarn dyeing, and I think I've got all the skeins done except mine and Talia's, which is not an issue. I can do mine and Talia's whenever, but there's some of them are still drying downstairs, and some of them have to be reskeined and stuff like that. So, but I did make a lot of progress on that. So we'll see what happens. I was informed also that not to worry about being late, because very gently and very sweetly.
It's not late.
It's not late because it's not until May. But
How long have I been saying this to you?
I still feel like it's late. But anyway.
Come here.
No, I don't wish it. I do not wish it. No. But anyway, so that's moving along, and I may have something fun connected with the kits that will be open to pretty much everybody. I just have to make sure I can get it done, and I think that you will like it. I hope you will like it. Well, I can't say anything about the other thing right now because it'll give things away. But anyway, the one thing anyway. But yeah, be on the lookout for that. I am dyeing up more yarn, a little at a time.
Outside of the kits.
Outside of the kits, and I'm hoping to get a little bit more of a kind of a head
inventory.
of steam. Yeah, an inventory, and kind of getting into more of a routine. It's been really hard to get any kind of routine since before the end of the year. For whatever reason, we've had things going on with contractors and then Christmas and birthday and all
honestly,
that.
when you hit fall through winter with all the holidays and stuff, we have birthdays around that time period, and then we had contractors on top of it. It's not shocking that you've had trouble getting stuff
And
in.
generally, I kind of avoid doing kits and special yarns.
Yeah.
Unless they are together. So doing this kit for, so we can make sure we got Anne's bags, having that started, and then the Christmas, it just kind of threw me off. So now I'm hoping to get back on some kind of, routine where I can do more yarn and get it into the shop.
Right, but not be stressed about it.
Not be stressed about it, because this is supposed to be fun for me. So I want to enjoy it so I can keep the shop open, because I enjoy dyeing yarn.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get overstressed by it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I have to say about the shop. I think so.
Davina enjoys the process of dyeing yarn because she gets to be a little more involved.
She likes it. The other day, what did she do with me the other day? She was helping me with the shower rings.
Okay.
She doesn't put them on because they can get caught, so she'll hand them to me. And we were having some issues. And yes, Laura, I know that you have those tie things. I have it on my wish list to get that. But right now we're using the shower curtain rings, and some of them are really hard to open, and some of them will break. So we're going through, and I said, we're going through, and Davina, that's going to work. It's not going to hold. So she's going through. She's helped me. We must have weeded out a dozen of them, and so she was helping me do that. One of them actually broke in my hands. Some of them get so pliable when they're heated that they
that makes
break.
sense. They're only plastic.
Well, the heavier one doesn't, and the mid one doesn't. But the I must have picked it up at the dollar store or something,
Right.
and it doesn't hold together. And then when you pull it or try to push it and then pull it out, it breaks. So,
Jesus,
eternal shepherd of our souls, please send good laborers into your harvest. Excuse me.
Sorry, we have a prayer we're supposed to say at
3
o'clock every day.
Okay. So, so she helped me with that, and she likes to help me think of colorway names, and she likes to help me, she likes to talk to me sometimes. We'll go through the different kinds of yarns and stuff like that, and she gets a kick out of that. She'll help me. Sometimes I have too many things in my hands, so she'll have to open the doors and things like that. She gets a kick out of that as well. But yeah,
Gets her a little bit more into the real world.
and I explain to her what I'm doing, this method or that method or whatever. So she seems to like that. She says, that's a little dull. It's really pretty, but it's dull.
She if it's neon, that's her preferred.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. She's definitely Laura concert kind of
yeah,
colors.
Yeah. So my shop stuff is honestly just still working on this design. It's the only reason why it's taking a back seat right now is because I need more socks. So I'm working on the socks, and I can get back to this.
Is that the one I'm working on here? Or is it, I have to show you how this one looks because it's now showing up.
I knew it
We have
would.
to
You just
see.
needed to give it a little bit more of a chance.
Well, I want to show you, and also I need to show you where I think I did a little something.
You made it boo-boo.
I think I didn't finish a stitch.
I've totally done that.
Yeah.
Usually on my fingering weight socks when I'm tired, I'll come back in the row above and be like, whoop, need to finish that stitch.
Well, I've been tired all day, and I think I made the mistake when I was sitting at the beautician's, and it wasn't like there was any distractions necessarily.
Well, sometimes when you're tired, you're just tired.
Yeah, I'm just tired. So, I'll show it to you later. But anyway, that's what else?
That's it for shop news for me. So that leads us on to stash enhancements.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to get
I want to
stashed.
show the non-tea ones first.
I have our tea ones, so.
Here it is. I got this really sweet. Oh, first Ty gave me this to put it. This is, you recognize that from her sock.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I put it in my blanket, although I need to fix my square because I have too many stitches. So she has that for hers.
Christina said that she wanted to send me a birthday card, but she found it late. But it was well worth it. I first of all, I don't expect anything. But she sent me this wonderful card. Anybody who knows me knows that this
Isn't
is
that
perfect.
cute?
Look at the owls. Aren't they pretty? I love them. Love them so much. So Christina, thank you very much. It says, I hope your birthday is a double hoot. And that's all I'm going to read because the rest of it is
It's personal.
So, yeah. Okay.
Oh wow, your tea is quite the tea.
Yeah.
Okay, so first I'm going to show for me is so Mom had gotten me, I think it was gunpowder when you guys went out for Valentine's Day, and I had some already, but I had points from people purchasing my tea on Adagio that is blends I put together. I get points every time someone purchases it if I don't put it to charity, which works for me because I can't really purchase a lot of tea all the time. So I got this completely free. This is a container for tea. And I got free shipping on it because I had enough points. So it's the only tea it would fit is my gunpowder because my 3 ounces wouldn't fit in here. This fits about 2.5 little packages of vinyl leaf gunpowder. And I used a little bit today, so it's actually a little less tight in there. And let me just line up my flour again so that way it's where it's supposed to be. There we go. And yeah, this is my gunpowder.
It's easier if you do the head. Line up the head. It's easier.
I lined up the flour.
No, I know. It's just easier with the head because you can see where the eye is.
What head?
This one right here is where I lined it up last time. Was here.
What is it that has?
It's a gecko or something.
Is that
Or a
what that?
fish or something.
I don't really know what that is. Maybe it's supposed to be a bird.
Salamander? I don't know what
I don't know what it is, so I lined up the flour because I'm not sure what that is.
Well, I just know that's the head, so I don't know what it is, but it's a head of something.
Something. I don't know what it is. But, yeah. It's really pretty. And it's got kind of interesting texture to it.
It's almost like a wallpaper kind of, contact paper kind of feel.
It's just kind of an odd texture. And it's well worth it for being a little free thing. And like I said, vinyl leaf gunpowder, and I wrote the little label down here because my other label was no way it was going to fit anywhere on this. And you can't put a label on this.
No.
It would ruin it. So I just stick it on the bottom. And I think I might put a little note here that says 2 minutes because it might be better 2 minutes. That's what the Adagio one was at. Now, granted, I think I was just having a bad... Sometimes when I'm having a mast cell day, everything will taste sour or bitter. And my tea tasted bitter this morning, but Mom said it didn't taste bitter, and she generally will taste bitterness before I do. So I'm thinking it was just me because everything... My mouth tasted bitter to me this morning, so I think it was just me.
Okay, now it look like we're having another tea palooza.
But some of it actually wasn't even purchased by it.
No.
And Mom showed this last week, so I can show it again.
Yep.
This is now mine.
Yeah, that's hers. And then when
Did they send you another one?
I didn't buy either of these.
Yes, they're free.
Yeah.
So if she decides she hates it, I will totally take it off her hands. Just like I did the bunny one.
I didn't hate that. Just
No. Although it has rose petals in it, Mom. You might like that.
What?
This is rose petals.
Okay.
And you really like the rose petals in Sam Gamgee. So
Yeah, because they were having promotion with this, and they're still having it, I think, to the end of February.
Right. Once it's done being available for February, it usually goes back in the teas that there's available. But if you get enough points, they have this one. They have one called Irish Stout that I really want to try.
Nutcracker Rubios.
Right, and then they have the Reindeer Fuel, which actually, last time I had it in a latte, I didn't like it quite as much, so I might not get that one again. I'll try Irish Stout next time.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if I was having another, everything tastes bitter day.
It's real. That Nutcracker Rubios is really good for that.
I can't really taste it in there.
Have you tasted Nutcracker Rubios? Do you have it?
Yeah, I had it. I finished mine.
You had Nutcracker Rubios?
I used to have it in a latte.
Okay. But I don't know. I have to see how I like this. But this was free.
Yes, and free is always good.
Now, some of these, I'm trying to think.
Well, let's see, the one we have in common.
Berserker.
Okay.
Valentine's Day.
Yes, this is chocolate raw honey. Now, it's not like having, from my understanding, it's not like having, chocolate syrup or whatever. You just add a little bit of this to enhance whatever chocolate flavors in there already. So, I have, for the healer tea that I made, it's chocolate, but sometimes it needs a little bit of a push to bring out the chocolate flavor. So I'd probably put in my normal amount of sugar and then just a little bit of this and see how it goes.
And I don't think it has to be refrigerated afterwards, honey.
Yeah.
It doesn't say it.
It doesn't say it has to.
I might ask on Adagio and say, do we have to put this in there? Because I never put honey in the fridge.
Yeah, I don't think you do for honey. I think it would get hard.
I would think so.
So yeah, that goes.
Unless it's raw honey, maybe it does. I don't know.
And Healer has cream, vanilla, chocolate chai pu'er, chocolate chips, and sprinkles. I think because I don't have a ton of chai pu'er in there is why I'm okay with this one. But yeah, that's what this is for.
And we also got the Berserker together.
Yes. Well, let's see. Did you get Healer?
Yes.
So Healer and Physician.
I picked up Healer and Physician on my own.
These are
with birthday money.
Yeah, these two, and I picked these up on my own. These two, there are, what do they call them? They're linked teas, but they're relationship. The teas are in a relationship.
Yeah.
So when you have two teas that are in a relationship, if you buy them together in the 3 ounce, you get a discount. So Healer and Physician. So you got a discount on each of these. Physician's nice. It has I think White Monkey. Is the White Monkey of Foxtrot?
The White Monkey.
Is the White Monkey that's chamomile?
Oh, I don't. If you think of that as chamomile, I don't know.
I forget which one was the chamomile. It might be Foxtrot. One of those two teas is an Egyptian chamomile, which tastes like the chamomile that I've always liked. It smells like the chamomile I love. Yeah. So, but it has mott, so it has some caffeine to it. Okay. This one's really full, but that's because of the chamomile. Chamomile takes a lot of room to get the same weight.
I hope it fits in our containers.
Yeah.
It should, because it's 4 ounces opposed to 3.
Right. And then I can add my little Physician tin to the bag. I don't have containers yet to put them in.
Okay, and then what else did you get?
Then I have, Davina got me this for Valentine's Day. I wanted to have this for breakfast this morning, but I held off. Berserker.
And this is another one I got for my birthday, Berserker.
It's another one that I designed.
You have to understand, the reason that we picked these up is because they are related to characters in our story.
In our shared story. I designed, and I put a lot of effort to think about what these would fit these characters. And then my other Berserker will go in there. And I'll have the tins for stitch markers.
And then
this one's Irish Breakfast, Pu'er, Chorange, Fruit Medley, Cloves, and Orange Peels. And this one's just a really nice breakfast tea.
Now, Davina picked up for me Thief, which is another...
This is, has Mom's name all over it because she likes a punch of cinnamon, and this is fiery cinnamon in it.
So that's this Thief, and she bought me also... This is Davina bought me for Valentine's Day. That and Pura Chorange.
That's some of the things in. That's also in the.
This is kind of
Berserker.
like this. Yeah, this is kind of like this is the
Chocolate
same
orange.
kind of tea that I like in the one I had today. Only this has orange in it too. And then the other one is Tiger Eye, which I haven't tried yet, but it's supposed to be a lot like chocolate and caramel.
I had almost put that in Berserker, but I decided it didn't work.
Yeah. And then
Before you go into your next, I have one of mine too that you don't have.
Okay.
This one was really it was on sale. Like a huge slash sale, like $1 or something like that. So I just tagged it onto my Healer and Physician order. And this is vanilla. It's a base tea, but the cream's very good by itself, and I've been wanting to try vanilla by itself, which I'm sure is excellent.
I haven't tried cream by itself yet.
Cream is really good by itself. I think it was available in one of my boxes.
Okay, let me put these two. I said I'm going to get the set and fill them out. So I have Archer, which goes with the thief and the healer and the physician.
Yeah,
and the
it's in
berserker.
that fandom.
And then this is she made all these in little tins for me for Christmas. So for my birthday, this is
For your
Sam.
birthday.
Yeah, for my birthday, I pulled these out. Oh, was it for my birthday?
Yeah, I designed them for your birthday. It was so hard not to tell you about them for as long as I did. This one was the first one I designed.
And this is Sam Gamgee.
It's him, Ganji. And as soon as I finished, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to do our characters. And I stayed up way too late thinking of how to design our characters.
Yes,
But this one was the first one.
And this one's really good. This is the one that tastes like rose petals. I had never tasted rose petals before.
It's very earthy because you have in there the green tea, but you also have the mott, and then you have the rose petals in there. So I think the cherry and rose petals tend to enhance each other, I think.
So this is really good. So that's my enhancement. I have to put these all in their specific tins.
So that's why I think you might be surprised. You might find that you like the Cupid's cup because you find that you like the rose petals.
Right.
And it's got strawberry in there as well. So I'm thinking the strawberry, like the cherry, might help enhance the rose petals. I look forward to trying this, but not today because I probably want another cup of my chocolate.
Yeah, I might want to do another one of this later on today. So that's all I have to say about that.
This will be a very nice nightcap. What I've been trying to do is as I head to bed, I usually have cups spread out throughout the day, and then right before bed, as I'm reading before I go to bed, I like to have a nice little hot cup of tea, and then it's like the last thing I get to have before bed. And then what I need to make sure to do is I don't have a snack or anything with it. I just have my tea. I'm trying to weed out some of the snacks and replace them with teas because I don't need to be eating snacks all the time.
Just be careful with the sugar, though.
Right, but the sugar will balance out with the sweet snacks.
No, you be careful with the sugar.
Yeah, and I'll be careful with the sugar. But you think about it, how many more calories are in the whatever?
I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about sugar in general.
At least it's pure sugar
Yeah.
versus the fake stuff.
But it's still sugar.
It is still sugar. But.
Okay, so I know I'm trying to worry about that as well.
And I'll figure out what teas I can decrease the sugar on.
I know with peppermint I can cut it in half at least, so that's good.
I'm sure with the chamomile I could as well. I think Sam needs the sugar to help enhance because it's such a light tea.
Right.
I feel like the light teas need a little bit more of a push. Just like the really black teas. Like I think Berserker, you can't go down on your sugar.
No, I have to have a fair amount of sugar. I mean, probably like 2 teaspoons of sugar.
2 teaspoons is generally what I go with, and it's tea sugar. It's not the stevia or what was it we used to do? Splenda?
No,
we did the pink package.
Yeah, that was I can see it, Sweet and Low.
Sweet and Low. The thing is now I can't have tea with Sweet and Low. I can taste
it.
The
It's
chemical
nasty.
now.
We are snobs.
Well, yeah. I mean, look at we're blending teas, and we write notes on what we can taste in tea. I'm pretty sure we're snobby now. I mean, put your little finger up, kind
We
of
hope
snobby.
you still love us. Tea snobs or not.
Although apparently I've been caught, even with my water, putting up my little finger
I've done
without
it, yeah.
knowing it.
Yeah, I've done that before.
That's just the way I tend to drink things when I don't
It's just
have my
easy.
hand wrapped
Well,
around the mug.
Yeah, I use on this hat. I usually do this, but if I have a smaller one,
Yeah. It's always been what I've tended to do.
Why is my tea gone?
Presumably because you drink. I have a little bit left.
No, it's gone.
This is
Gone
really...
like a-
I have a little bit left in spite of you drinking my tea.
Down like a freight.
Gone like a freight train, gone like yesterday. Gone like a soldier in the Civil War, bang, bang. Gone like a 59 Cadillac, like all the good things that ain't never coming back. Gone. I can't tell you. Okay, this probably was obnoxious, but every time I was getting ready to leave work, I would just start singing to myself, gone like a freight train, gone like yesterday.
Gone like a soldier in the
Civil War, bang, bang.
Gone like...
So yeah, that's how I get myself hyped up to leave work.
Well, when I was running, I used to sing "It Keeps You Running."
I actually don't know that song.
It keeps you running, yeah, it keeps you running.
Is that like a
keeps you running.
70s song, 80s
Yeah,
song?
70s. Well, think about high school.
Yeah,
for
true.
me.
Who would that have been? Bee Gees or
No.
No?
I don't know who the It Keeps You... I don't even know if it's the name of the title of the song. It keeps you running, yeah. It keeps you running, it keeps you running. I don't know who sang that.
I mean, it has a definite sound to it. Like I would say, it's 70s.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, and I'm actually not sure if it's a 59 Cadillac or a 69 Cadillac. I've never looked
I
at the
think
words.
it's a 59 Cadillac. I think it's a 59.
I don't know.
I mean, at their age, it could be a 69. I don't know.
I don't know. I said 59.
I always
But
heard
that
59, but
I'm not sure. It's actually been a while since I've listened to the song.
Montgomery Gentry, everybody.
That part of the song always sticks in my head because that's what I would sing when I wanted to go home from work, and as I was walking to my car.
Okay, so let's close this up here.
Yes, that goes on to reading. Have you done reading?
No. I mean, I listened to Poirot. I finished Halloween Party.
Yeah, Halloween Party.
And I'm listening now to, what's it called? The one where the guy is taking on another persona. He's got a manuscript. He's got letters. And, what's it called? I can't think of the name of it. I just started it. I haven't seen Poirot in the first, 3 chapters.
Is it supposed to be a Poirot one?
Hugh Fraser's reading it. I'm assuming.
That doesn't mean it's
I
a
assumed it
Poirot
was
one.
Poirot, but it's the one guy's name is James or Jimmy, and the other guy's name is I think it's Anthony.
Okay,
And-
so it's not. Why didn't they ask Evans?
No.
It's not Man in the Brown Suit. Okay. Is it? It's not Clocks. It's not. Oh, I can see. For Superintendent Battle one in my head
That's
because there is a
Superintendent
Jimmy in that.
No, it's not. Superintendent Battle's not in there unless he comes in much later.
He would come in later. The one I'm thinking of, because it was a series actually.
No,
Well, you wouldn't know necessarily if it was a series.
I would say book 1 or whatever, but
Well, it was kind of like a loose series. It had the same characters, but it was one of those things like you didn't need to. The story didn't continue.
it is
I bet it's the one I'm thinking of.
The Secret of Chimneys.
Yes, that is the Superintendent Battle one. It is good. Yeah, there's a couple in that series. I think that might actually be the first one. The Secret of the Chimneys. Yeah, and there's one other one in that. I think maybe 2.
Well, I'm enjoying it. I like.
As soon as you said Jimmy, I knew which one it was.
But the guy who's there is not Jimmy. He's doing it for Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm enjoying the narrator. The narrator is Hugh Fraser, but the guy whose point of view it's from, I like him. He's got sand.
I need to reread the one with
Yeah.
the other. But He's Got Sand is a reference to a Terry Brooks book. It's actually, even though Terry Brooks has multiple series, of course the ones I like are the single books. He has one called it's Elfstone's Shannara, and that's with Will Omsford, who is the physician, and I love his character. That's probably my favorite of the 2 books. Although close behind it is the one with Will's kids.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the name of that one. He's got a 16-year-old boy, and then the girl who's older. And the cast, Bryn. Her name is Bryn. I can never remember her brother's name. Even though I prefer her brother, and I prefer the cast of
He's the one
characters.
who has sand.
He's the one who has sand, and he has the craziest group of people he travels with.
The dwarf is fun.
You got the dwarf, you've got the guy who is like an assassin type, you have the other big guy, you've got the gnome.
Well, you've got those healer people.
Well, those are the stores.
Yeah, the stores.
The stores are actually who Will Omsford trained with to become a physician, because they're like the good gnomes. Well, I think they're gnomes.
I don't know what they are, forget. But my point is that they're cool.
Yeah. It might be goblins. I can't remember.
Goblins?
Not goblins. I can't remember what they are.
Excuse me.
Because there's something like, they're usually considered bad, but I can't remember what they are. Because it's been too long since I read. I might need to reread those 2, because those are my 2 favorites.
I love Terry Brooks.
But, yes. So now that we've determined which one was, I knew it was, as soon as you said Jimmy, I knew it was a Superintendent Battle. Because I read those books for the first time last year. And Superintendent Battle's like my
He's
favorite.
awesome.
He's awesome. I love
Is that
him.
the one who's wooden face?
Yes. Now she does have a tendency to like wooden
Wooden
face.
face, yeah.
She has a couple who are
Yes.
wooden face.
More than a couple.
But a lot of times, if they're detectives, they've trained under Superintendent Battle, or they're related to Superintendent Battle. I think she really liked Battle and felt annoyed at herself when she retired him, so she had to replace him. That's my theory.
I like in the Poirot ones, I like Superintendent Spence.
Spence is connected to Battle. I think he's Battle's nephew.
Well, I don't know. I just like him. He's in the book I just finished, the Halloween part. He was in
Yes.
that one.
He's somehow connected. He either trained under Battle, or he's Battle's nephew, or something like that.
Well, his sister's a pip.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Isabel?
No, I like Spence as well.
Yeah.
Um,
What's his sister's name? Is Isabel, isn't it?
I can't remember. I
just-
read
I think it
Halloween
was-
last year, but
I think it was Isabel.
reread Halloween last year. So my reading. No, I got the Christie in mind this time. But Dad got me onto Libby, which is an app for borrowing books from your library from home. You would borrow like digital books, and my library was super sweet because my library card had lapsed because I hadn't used it in 5 years because I don't really leave the house that much. Even though on their site it says you had to come in, when she heard I was basically housebound, she's like, "Look, here's your card information. If you ever capable of coming in, we can get, the picture stuff, get your picture ID and everything, but you're set up. You can borrow things on Libby and all the different apps now," which was super nice of her. So, the first thing I'm going to say that I read, though,
How's Libby spelled?
Libby? Now I had to check. Yeah, Libby, and it looks like that.
Okay.
And all you need is your library card. Now you'll probably have to go in and get that taken
Yeah,
care of. But it's super easy to get books. I mean, sometimes you have to wait until someone returns a book. I haven't had any problems with audiobooks. Audiobooks are usually pretty available. But the first book that I finished was not on Libby. It was one that I already had. It was Saint Mother Teresa of Calcutta, A Witness to Love by Michael Rosala. I knew Michael in school. I'm not sure if he was my year or a year before me. But 5 stars. I love all of the books he's written. I have most of them.
I have 4 of them, I think.
He has a really nice style. Right now I'm reading, it's going to take me a little while to go through this one because it's a throughout the year. So, and he hits certain days so he can focus more, he can go more in depth, which I appreciate because I'm learning about saints I really didn't know much about, and he really puts effort into it. Now here comes the books that I read on Libby. Gratitude by Oliver Sacks. This was really short. It was a book
Read or listened to?
this was read. This is audiobook through Libby. Gratitude by Oliver Sacks. It was really short. He had written this book when he was dying of cancer. And he had a really interesting way of looking at age. He loved the periodic table since he was a child. So every birthday he was like, "Oh, this is my, I don't know, Mercury birthday." So based on what number they were in the periodic table, and he had friends who would just send him like small samples of whatever
Aw.
element it was for his birthday. So like, I think he made it actually to his favorite metal. He was like 80 something.
Oh, wow.
And it was a metal they always liked because it never got much attention. So I can't remember what the medal was, but he made it to that birthday.
Good.
So he had that in his collection. But it was just a really kind of cute way of looking at age. Very nerdy, but kind of cute way of looking at age. Then I read, I usually prefer British history to American, but I gotta give credit to the books that were available on Libby. I forgot that I did like some of the Civil War era books, because I had read a book on Lee when I was in high school and it had really pulled me in. This time it's a book on Lincoln. This was fascinating. The Lincoln Conspiracy, The Secret Plot to Kill America's 16th President and Why It Failed by Brad Meltzer. And this was an audiobook. I had actually never heard of this conspiracy. This was before he even had his inauguration. And it's heavily involved in this book, Alan Pinkerton. So you learn about the Pinkertons, and it hops a little bit all over the place with what time you're at, but you learn a lot about Abraham Lincoln, you learn a lot about Pinkerton. I really enjoyed the book. So of course after that, I had to listen to Chasing Lincoln's Killer, The Search for John Wilkes Booth. Also very fascinating. By James L. Swanson, with Will Patton. He apparently likes writing about assassinations because he has, and chasing the killers because he has one about an assassination attempt on George Washington. He has one on the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. and chasing his killer.
Oh, really? So he likes the finding and the...
Yes. Now, those books aren't available on Libby. I've wish-listed them for Amazon because I want to read those things because they sound fast, particularly Martin Luther one. That sounds so interesting. But yeah, this seems to be this guy's focus. He likes those kind of things. Then other ones so those are the ones I read on Libby. Still reading Peace in the Storm, Meditations for Chronic Pain and Illness by Maureen Pratt. Started reading again the autobiography of St. Teresa of Avila. I will be reading that for a while. It's thick. Still reading Until Christ Be Formed in You by Blessed James Alberione. Still reading Plantagenets by Dan Jones. I think I'm like 60-70% through, but that's a thick book. Because I had the physical one at one time. Still reading Mythology by Edith Hamilton. I've kind of stalled on the complete stories of Sherlock Holmes Volume 1 because I found Libby and I listened to this series last year for Sherlock Holmes, so I'm not that terribly worried about finishing it this year. Still reading Return of the King. Didn't get as far along because I just haven't had the focus to. That's by J.R. Tolkien. The one I've really made some progress on was Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. I was on hold for so long for insurance yesterday, and the only thing I could focus on was Sense and Sensibility. So while I'm on hold, I'm sitting there reading Sense and Sensibility. So I'm like 70% through Sense and Sensibility. Lives of the Saint Complete, January through December, is the one I was telling you about by Mike Rosala that I'm reading. This one is a Libby book. Oh, I forgot to put down that I finished Ave Maria, The Mystery of a Most Beloved Prayer by Pope Francis. I really wanted to like this one. This was an audiobook through Libby. It was an interview format, which I actually found kind of annoying because unfortunately the interviewer wasn't very good. He kept refocusing, he kept distracting from the matter by asking Pope Francis about himself instead of the subject matter, and Pope Francis kept having to redirect things back to the subject matter, and it was very it felt like the interviewer was pandering. It was really annoying because what Pope Francis had to say was actually fascinating. It was I wanted to give it higher review because Pope Francis did a good job. The interview was just annoying as all get out. And then the other one I'm listening to is really fascinating. It's called Heroes, From Alexander the Great and Julius Caesar to Churchill and de Gaulle. And things, he doesn't start with Alexander the Great. That's just who he chose to write down. He starts back with biblical heroes. And he includes people like the judges from Judges. He includes people like JL and people like that. So very interesting read. He's not afraid to go religious on you, like religious heroes on you. And the name is Paul Johnson, the author. So yeah, that's what I've been reading and listening to. Libby tends to have their audiobooks available first, so that's why most of the stuff has been audiobook from them. And I would have picked up the Heroes one, probably purchased that one, but I might not purchase the Lincoln ones because I prefer British history, so I'm enjoying the process. Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that'd be it.
Okay. We don't really have anything else. I mean, life stuff is just...
I do want to mention, for life stuff, I have, let's see, not tomorrow, the day after, so Thursday, I have a phone appointment with my neurosurgeon. We're hoping that the scans just show, nothing's changed, no worsening instability. We had taken the scans because I've had increase in pain back here, which is where you get pain with the instability. And I know there are existing instabilities that just weren't bad enough for surgery. I'm just hoping that they don't worsen. I'm just hoping that maybe the cold weather is making the hardware cause everything to ache. So that's my hope, that it's just body being unhappy that there's metal in there. But yes, we'll be determining that because I don't really feel like getting neurosurgery again. It's expensive and painful and exhausting. So there's that. And then next week on Fridays, on the 25th, I have my disability hearing. So for people who are Zoomers, for the PHN Tea Party, We had discussed doing it this Friday, but we had some people that weren't able to make it, people who showed up consistently, so we moved it to the 24th, which is a Thursday.
And we had mentioned that.
But I just wanted to make it clear. I did send out a message to everybody on Monday, but wanted to mention it here in case you haven't gone to Patreon.
Emma, you had asked if the Zoom is every Friday. It is not every Friday. It is the
last Friday of the month.
Last
usually.
Friday of the month. Okay.
And then we have, and that one's only available to the highest tier members. For all the tiers, there is the live stream, and that's usually the second Friday of every month, and that's posted on our Patreon as well. So, yes, that's all I can think of.
Okay, so, all right. We are very glad to have you with us here for the Fun in the Woman Cave this week. We wish you all a very blessed week full of knitting and crocheting and crafting, whatever it is that makes your heart happy. We hope you had a wonderful Valentine's Day.
Yes.
And we hope to see you next week for the Fun in the Woman Cave. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 492, and that's a wrap.
Bye.